Part 13. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 124. Shimura Danzo's departure announced that the matter had come to an end. The third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep breath and motioned for everyone to leave. When Hinata Hikaru was about to leave, Sarutobi Hiruzen waved to her. Namikaze Minato glanced at Hinata Hikaru, smiled, and walked to the distance to wait. After that, only Hiruzen Sarutobi and Hikaru Hinata were left here. Little light. Hinata Hikaru's maturity far exceeded the expectations of the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Facing this child who had saved Konoha's face, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt a little complicated. After a pause, Sarutobi Hiruzen continued, "I hope you don't hate the village because of Danzo's affairs." Quack, this leader is open-minded. Hinata responded. Where there is light there is darkness. Konoha Hidden Village is so big, there are many good people, and there are also many bad people. It is not surprising that there is a person like Danzo Shimura. But it's one thing to understand it, but another thing to actually do it. The old guy Danzo offended her. Hinata Hikaru couldn't pretend that nothing happened. One day, she will find her place again. Hinata Hikaru was wondering if he should stop saying such cruel words as 30 years in Hidong and 30 years in Hexi, don't bully me to be poor? Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded, pleased with Hinata's understanding. This time you successfully defeated the ninjas of Hidden Cloud Village. I decided to give you some rewards. Hinata's talent is so strong that it has never been seen before. Even more exaggerated than the talent of his genius disciple Orochimaru. Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly developed a love for talents. In addition, the three disciples have been working on it for several months and have not been able to complete the tasks he assigned. Sarutobi Hiruzen decided to take action himself. I have decided to accept you as my disciple, what do you think? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked kindly. If other people heard the sentence, it would definitely cause an uproar. The third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, has not spoken for nearly 16 years since he accepted Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and Tsunade as his disciples. Being able to become the disciple of Hiruzen Sarutobi, known as Professor, is the dream of countless Konoha ninjas. Now Sarutobi Hiruzen is only in his early 40s and is at the strongest moment in his life. Physical, illusion, seal, virtuous, forbearance and other numerical values are all at full value, making him a proper hexagonal warrior. He is proficient in the 5 attributes, and has dabbled in illusions and necromancy. It can be said that there are no shortcomings. In addition, the sealing technique inherited from Uzumaki Mito, the wife of the previous Hokage. Especially the soul ban. Even if you can't defeat them, you can directly summon the god of death to pull anyone to death. The most ancient name of is well established. It can be said that it is the strongest shadow in this world. However, for such an honor, Hinata curled her lips. This leader is so awesome that he doesn't need a teacher at all. Hinata's face was calm, showing her confident side. Relying on the memory of the previous life and his own exploration. Although in the last life, he directly encountered a catastrophe on the road to the cage level, Hikaru Hinata is confident that one day he can climb to the peak called the shadow level. Facing Hinata Hikari's rejection, Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed to have expected it. He naturally knew about the defeat of the 3 disciples. Therefore, Sarutobi Hiruzen was also prepared to be rejected by Hinata Hikaru. He smiled leisurely. The ancients said that if there are 3 of us, one of my masters must have mastered many powerful ninjutsus. I am not boasting, but I have a lot of experience in Konoha's various ninjutsus. Hearing the number 1, Hinata hesitated a little. There is a play. Whether it is water escape, fire escape, thunder escape, wind escape, or earth escape, I can teach it to you. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled kindly and pursued the victory. But Hinata hesitated. This leader doesn't know how to escape from earth and wind. Oh. Sarutobi Hiruzen was extremely surprised in his heart, but on the surface he remained calm. Originally, he thought Hinata Hikari only knew water escape and fire escape. Unexpectedly, Hikaru Hinata actually mastered thunder release. This little guy is so secretive. It's okay. Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his hand. I'll just teach you the escape techniques of the three attributes. For Hiruzen Sarutobi, it would be better if Hikari had 5 attributes, but it didn't matter if he didn't. Because Jiraiya and Tsunade also don't have that many attributes. This leader is a member of the branch family. Hinata pointed at his forehead. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes dimmed a little, but he quickly hid his inner thoughts. Ho ho, this is not a problem. Whether you are a branch family or a clan family, you are all a part of Konoha. Well, this leader will not call you teacher. Ho ho, Jiraiya and Tsunade said the same thing, they both call me old man. Your 3 disciples are probably not satisfied. When I get angry, they can only tremble and tremble. Hikari-san, what did Hokage-sama tell you? Gaga, he said he would contribute ninjutsu to my leader. Ha ha ha. Looking at the departing figures of Namikaze Minato and Hinata Hikari, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but smile. A gust of wind blew by, causing Sarutobi Hiruzen's Hokage robe to flutter in the wind. Danzo, I told you that I will never leave this child alone. Since Hinata Hikaru was approved to be discharged from the hospital 2 years ago, she was approved to enter the ninja school half a year ago. Then, he will naturally assume the responsibility of guardian. Whether it's Uchiha or Danzo, they will not succeed in their attempts to murder this child. Where's Hinata's Xiao? Hinata stopped and looked around. It seems that Hinataxio-san has gone back first. Namikaze Minato scratched his blonde hair and said slowly. Rixiang Xiao is not just as simple as going back first. The expression on his face seemed very heavy. I must have been hit because of Danzo Shimura's words. The hatred and estrangement between the clan family and branch families are as deep as the abyss and as difficult to sort out as a thread. All people are born equal, which is a beautiful expectation. It is an objective fact that people are not born equal. I hope time can erase his resentment. Namikaze Minato thought like this, and Hinata Hikari's strange smile rang in his ears. God, Namikaze Minato, you did a good job of hiding this from me. Namikaze Minato turned around and saw Hinata Hikari grinning evilly. I want to practice with you. Ha ha ha. Before thinking about Hinata Xiao's problem, Namikaze Minato must first solve the bigger crisis at hand. Be kind to others from Hinata Hikaru. Will be killed. The killing intent fluctuates. Wind escape great breakthrough. On the street, a chase battle between Namikaze Minato and Hinata Hikaru was staged. For a time, the streets were abuzz, with adults scolding and children crying. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 125. That night, Uchiha Nanga Shrine, underground main hall. Did you hear about that little psycho from the Hyuga family defeating the second-tailed Jinchuriki of Hidden Cloud Village? The Uchiha clan members were talking a lot. Here, all the ninjas of the Uchiha clan gathered. More than 200 people filled the basement with 15 tatami mats. Candles were burning on the walls at the 4 corners, and at the end of the main hall, where the Uchiha stone tablet was, sat the leader of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Akiyama. I heard that her skills were taught by that commoner named Namikaze Minato. How is this possible? It must be a trick played by the top management of Konoha. I think it should be Orochimaru. Yes, Uchiha Takano and I saw with our own eyes today that Orochimaru admitted this. Uchiha Kishin looked at the clan members silently. It was not until he coughed a few times that the clan members' discussion subsided. The original plan failed. Uchiha Akiyama said. It seems that we have to wait a little longer. The plan mentioned by Uchiha Akeyama was to take advantage of the Chunin examination. Let Uchiha Takano use the Sharingan Genjutsu to control the 3 genin of Kizagakure village. Hinata's mind is different from ordinary people's. Some scheming people would never fall into the trap, but it is very suitable to use against Hinata. As long as he raises his head a little and uses some provocative words, Hinata Hikaru will definitely fall into the trap and start a fight with the opponent. However, Uchiha Takano was exposed on the spot by Hinata Hikaru as soon as he used the Sharingan. "Captain, could it be that the Sandaime Hokage has noticed our plan?" The one who spoke was Uchiha Yashiro, sitting in the front row. He was Uchiha Akeyama's right-hand man. Uchiha Yashiro has white hair, a thin face, and slender eyes. Ultimately, he is the owner of the 3 Megatama Sharingan. Among the Uchiha clan, he is second only to Uchiha Akeyama in strength. At this time, he was only in his early 30s. In the original work, because of the death of Uchiha Shisui, Uchiha Inari and Uchiha Ironfire were once brought to investigate Uchiha Itachi. He is one of the top masters of the Uchiha clan. Uchiha Akeyama nodded. Perhaps the higher UPS were aware of their plan and Uchiha Takano controlled 3 Kizagakure village ninjas. "Captain, do you want to send someone tomorrow?" "Do not." Uchiha Akeyama stretched out his hand and stopped Uchiha Yashiro. "Doing that will only alert the enemy. What's more, judging from the situation in the ninja world and the performance of Cloud Hidden Village today, I'm afraid it won't take long for the war to start. By then, Hinata Hikari will graduate soon. Just wait. Wait until Hinata Hikaru graduates. There are plenty of opportunities to kill her silently. The Uchiha clan's face must never be tarnished." "Yes." "Then, we will continue to discuss the last issue of the opinion letter to the Hokage on the reduction of funding for the police force. As soon as Uchiha Akeyama finished speaking, the Uchiha clan members started talking again. Some people think that a tough attitude should be taken against Konoha's senior officials, while others think that they should calmly observe the situation and adopt a prudent strategy. There is also a wallflower, both sides agree. A feverish atmosphere took over the eerie basement of the shrine. Only a few people remained silent. Uchiha Fugaku, the son of Uchiha Akeyama, the father of Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Sasuke in the original work. Currently, he is still a young man. At the age of 17, he had already become a jounin and served as a member of the police force in accordance with the village's regulations. With his excellent abilities, he has become a squad leader. There was no sadness or joy on that square face, and he did not show any expression or express his own opinion. Suddenly, Uchiha Fugaku noticed someone's eyes falling on him. So, he immediately looked over. As a jounin, he is extremely sensitive to the sight of people nearby. It was Uchiha Mikoto, a genin of the Uchiha clan. Uchiha Mikoto was 5 years older than him. This 12-year-old girl of the same race seems unable to get used to this fanatical atmosphere. For a moment, their eyes met. It seemed that he was not the only one who was not used to gatherings. This girl of the same race had the same idea. That Fugaku-senpai. After the secret meeting, the tribesmen walked out of Nanga Shrine. At this time, the moon hangs high in the sky. There are no street lights here, so we can only rely on moonlight for illumination. After being stopped, Uchiha Fugaku turned around and looked at the girl of the same race who was much shorter than him, Uchiha Mikoto. "Is there a problem?" Uchiha Akeyama walked in front, so he didn't notice his son who was behind the team. I have the same idea as you." Uchiha Mikoto mustered up her courage and said. The moonlight shines on her originally fair and beautiful cheeks, like a layer of bright makeup. "I understand how Fugaku-senpai feels." After hearing what Uchiha Mikoto said, Uchiha Fugaku frowned. It was not that he looked down upon Uchiha Mikoto because of her age. Children in this world are very precocious, especially the Uchiha clan whose power comes from the soul. Uchiha Fugaku turned around and glanced at the clansmen who were gradually moving away. After confirming that no one could hear the conversation between the two, he spoke to Uchiha Mikoto. "Tell me, you understand how I feel?" Seeing Uchiha Fugaku speaking to herself, Uchiha Mikoto nodded very happily. "Yes, Fugaku-senpai." Uchiha Mikoto gently brushed her hair around her ears. Although she was quite young, she already had the look of a beautiful woman. In the past year, the emotions of the tribe have changed more and more intensely, and they have gradually forgotten the ancestral teachings. The ancestral precepts of the Uchiha clan were the rules established by the Uchiha clan at that time after Uchiha Madara abandoned the village and clan. In other words, the Uchiha clan turned their backs on the last clan leader, Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara's incident was listed as a lesson. That means you must never be an enemy of the village. At first, Uchiha Madara wanted to take the Uchiha clan with him and leave Konoha, but he was opposed by almost all the clan members. They thought Uchiha Madara's behavior was wrong. The Uchiha clan at that time truly regarded Konoha as their home. But the current Uchiha clan has repeated the history of Uchiha Madara. Although what they did is not exactly the same as Uchiha Madara, it is an indisputable fact that they are in opposition to the village. Well, if this continues, the Uchiha clan will be driven out of the village, or even wiped out. Uchiha Fugaku said words that shocked others. Fortunately, there was only Uchiha Mikoto here, so no one else could hear this. "You want to say that, right?" Uchiha Fugaku asked. "Yes, it is." "Ugh." Uchiha Fugaku sighed. His face looked a little melancholy. After a while, he looked at Uchiha Mikoto. "Uchiha Mikoto, let me ask you, what is Hokage? What is Naruto?" Uchiha Mikoto was stunned. Obviously, she did not expect that Uchiha Fugaku would ask this question. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 126. What is Naruto? Uchiha Mikoto was stunned for a moment. Of course she had thought about this question. In other words, all the ninjas in the Hidden Leaf village have thought about it. Probably the most powerful person. Uchiha Mikoto tried to express her opinion. The strongest person in the Hidden Leaf village is the Hokage. Uchiha Fugaku was silent. Then he shook his head. Obviously, he didn't agree with Uchiha Mikoto's answer. Hokage may be the strongest, but he may not be the strongest. From his short but long life of 17 years, Uchiha Fugaku realized a truth. The strongest person is qualified to serve as Hokage. But in the end it is not necessarily the strongest person who becomes Hokage. At that time, the second generation Hokage Senju Tobirama had different ideas from Uchiha Madara, which eventually led to a breakup between the two parties and Uchiha Madara rebelled against the village. In terms of strength, it is obvious that Uchiha Madara is much stronger than Senju Tobirama. But why was it not Madara Uchiha who became Hokage in the end, but Tobirama Senju? This problem. Uchiha Fugaku kept thinking. Finally he came to a conclusion. It is not the powerful who become Hokage, but the one who is recognized by everyone. The popularity of Senju Tobirama is obviously stronger than that of Uchiha Madara. In the end, Uchiha Madara even betrayed all his relatives, and no one in his clan was willing to leave with him. Regardless of right or wrong. The reason is that even the clan members do not support Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Fugaku expressed his understanding. Under the moonlight, the silver waves shine. Uchiha Fugaku stood on the ground outside the shrine, his face calm and serious. It is not the powerful who become Hokage, but the one who is recognized by everyone. Uchiha Mikoto murmured, savoring the words carefully. She didn't notice the gloom flashing in Uchiha Fugaku's eyes. The same. What is the leader of a clan? It is not the powerful who become the leader, but the one who is recognized by the tribe. Uchiha Fugaku looked at the backs of his clansmen with a gloomy expression. Public opinion can sometimes play a positive role and lead a clan towards the light. But sometimes, it will also have the opposite effect. Just like his father, Uchiha Akiyama. Caught in the wave of fanaticism of the tribe, he could only drift with the tide. Unexpectedly, the next captain of the police department will be himself. By the time, will he be like his father? Hostage by public opinion? In Uchiha Fugaku's view, the plan to assassinate Hinata Hikaru was simply stupid. He is obviously a companion from the same village. But the tribesmen are sliding towards the abyss feverishly. No one can resist this wave of public opinion. If you insist on your own ideas, I'm afraid you will end up like Uchiha Madara, betraying everyone. Uchiha Mikoto, don't ever think like that again, and don't let other clan members know what you think. Uchiha Mikoto quickly lowered her head. She knew that Uchiha Fugaku was kindly reminding her that her expression and eyes were too obvious. This will only be detrimental to her. I understand, Fugaku-senpai. Dark clouds enveloped the moon, covering the earth with a layer of shadow. Just like the hearts of Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Mikoto. The next morning, in the mountains behind Konoha. The sun is shining all over the sky, the shade of the trees is cool, and the sun is practicing in the narrow valley. Her whole body turned into a white phantom, bombarding the surrounding tree trunks and rocks. The sound of banging explosions resounded throughout the back mountains of Konoha. The natural mountain walls and trees in the sky are excellent targets. The small waterfall crashed on the rocks, stirring up some water vapor. When the sun shone, colorful lights appeared. Hinata, who was wearing white clothes, looked at the scenery in front of her with an arrogant expression, and laughed out loud. Raise your knees. Hinata kicked out her right leg suddenly, and a blue chakra cyclone emerged in front of her knee. Bang, the trees exploded, debris and bark falling apart. Protruding shoulders. His shoulder hit a tree trunk. Kaka, the tree trunk shook suddenly as cracks appeared. Collapsing palm. His right palm suddenly swung out, and the transparent wind distorted the air. Bang, the tree trunk a meter away exploded, leaving deep handprints in it. High five. Hikari jumped and flashed, holding a claw in his right hand and grabbing at the waterfall above his head. Wow, the water of the small waterfall actually rolled up and flew up. Press the palm. His right paw suddenly slapped towards his body. Boom, the water pool suddenly boiled and burst into flames, splashing large amounts of water as if a detonating talisman had been thrown into it. Rock attack. The final blow, the right punch. Boom, the rock wall shattered and the ground shook. Seeing the damage he caused, Hinata put down his posture very excitedly. After absorbing the chakra of the two Akumi, Hinata Hikaru found that her strength had taken another step forward. The lethality of various physical techniques has become stronger than before. It's like being poured into a century's worth of internal energy. My body feels better than ever. Hinata lowered his head and looked at his little hands. In Byakugan's field of vision, the meridian structure in his body was clearly visible. Chakra is like the water of a waterfall, cheering, jumping, and rushing endlessly. After many inspections, Hinata didn't find any side effects. Thinking of another instant magic technique in his previous life, a technique that could cause self-destruction at every turn, Hinata Hikaru was a little confused. Both are absorbed, but why are the results completely opposite? It should be because of the different chakras. 7 or 8 meters away, under the shade of a tree, Namikaze Minato stood there, his blue eyes staring at Hinata. Seeing the results she had achieved, Namikaze Minato couldn't help but be happy. At the same time, he noticed Hinata's doubts and began to use his knowledge to make inferences. Tailed beast chakra has both yin and yang attributes. Another quick fix from my leader, it can only absorb yin attributes. Hinata Hikaru has some enlightenment. Her fluctuating killing intent actually has another function. Absorb the bloody smell from the blood-stained ninja tools, which is the spiritual energy, or the remaining yin attribute chakra. Because the essence of the fluctuation of murderous intention is born from the yin attribute. But this absorption method has a drawback. If your physical fitness cannot keep up, you will easily be overwhelmed because yin and yang are not balanced. But the tailed beast chakra, which possesses both yin and yang, has no such concerns. Hinata's eyes lit up instantly, so, from now on, when this leader sees a Jinchuriki, he can suck him or her first. It's better not to try it casually. Namikaze Minato quickly reminded him with a drop of cold sweat on his forehead. Hinata Hikaru's bold move to attack the two Akumi yesterday shocked him. Because the chakra of a tailed beast is not a harmless thing. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 127. It is said that the two brothers Jinjiao and Yinjiao of Union Village once ate the flesh and blood of the Nine Tails. The other ninjas in Hidden Cloud Village saw this and wanted to follow suit. So they took the flesh and blood of the 8 tails and ate them, but all of them died without exception. The chakra of tailed beasts has some kind of toxicity to humans. If you try rashly, you can easily die on the spot. Well, from now on, this leader will be specifically looking for the two Akumi. Hinata nodded her head and made the smartest decision. Since she can withstand the chakra of the two tails, it means that there is some kind of affinity. Isn't the so-called Jinchuriki chosen for this reason? In the ninja world, there are always some people who can withstand the chakra of tailed beasts. That's why it was chosen as the tailed beast's container. For a moment, Namikaze Minato actually thought this was a good idea. Hikari-san, are you going to watch the Chuyunin exam competition then? The turmoil in Kumagakura village was just a small wave, and it did not affect the holding of the Chunin examination. In a few days, all the candidates from all countries will arrive, and then the Chuyunin exams will officially begin. Quack, no, I want to practice hard. Hinata Hikaru opened his posture and prepared to continue training. Suddenly, what did she think of? Minato Namikaze, this leader has decided to graduate earlier. Hinata's eyes were burning, and there were some thoughts in them. After thinking for a moment, Namikaze Minato understood. Okay. Their team is currently missing one person. Namikaze Minato turned his head and followed Hinata's gaze away, as if across time and space. That companion who lives far away in a village on the border of the Land of Fire. The third person in the team. Righteous Namatsu-san. Yezong, what are you doing? A simple small village on the border of the country of fire. An old man was walking in the grassland. In front of him was a boy about 8 years old. A young man wearing coarse cloth, with his hair stuck to his head, stood up from the grass. The little braid on the back of his head also swayed. Village chief, I'm surveying the terrain. The young man named Yesong turned around and said to the village chief. Sword eyebrows, starry eyes, and red phoenix eyes, these characteristics give him a very personal style. Oh, these days, I see you running out all the time, and I thought. The old village head hesitated to speak. A few days ago, the child's mother passed away due to illness, and he was afraid that Yesong couldn't think about it. Birth, old age, sickness, and death are all human beings. Yesong raised his head and looked at the sky. There was no sadness or joy on his face, and a gust of wind blew his hair. You have been very sensible since you were a child. The old village chief wiped the corners of his eyes, and then chatted with Yesong for a while. There are not many people in their village, only a few dozen families. The villagers looked up and down, and they all knew each other well. To the old village chief, every child in the village is his family. Wild Pine is no exception. Since the old village chief accepted Yesong's mother more than 10 years ago, he has always regarded them as his own. And when Yesong's father died in an accident, his mother took on everything. Maybe it was overwork, maybe it was some other reasons. In the end, his mother also abandoned him. This child became a lonely person. Village chief, don't worry. I'm already very happy. At least I can accompany my mother again. Yesong said something the village chief couldn't understand. He felt that the child was too sad, causing his words to be inconsistent. Yesong, about your mother's life experience. When the old village chief came over this time, he actually had something else to tell Yesong. About the true origin of his life experience. But Yesong suddenly took off the bow and arrow from his back, pulled it open, and aimed several times in the distance. Village chief, I know everything. Yesong's father was born and raised here. But my mother is not from this village. Nor are they people from nearby villages. His mother came from the land of the fields and was a ninja from the Earth Spider clan. And he himself is the product of the union of his mother, who has the blood of the Earth Spider clan, and his father, who was born as an ordinary person. The capture ability of the Earth Spider clan is one of the best in the ninja world. Yesong inherited the abilities of the Earth Spider clan and was personally trained and taught by his mother. All kinds of Earth Spider secrets are finally at hand. These things are secrets between him and his mother. So you already know everything, the old village chief sighed, looking a little disappointed. Village chief, the situation in the ninja world is not very stable recently. I will find a way to set traps around the village. Yesong looked around the surrounding environment, thinking about how to distribute the appropriate amount. The old village chief looked at Yesong's serious face, his eyes moistened again. Past. It is the child's mother who protects the village. But now, this child has taken the initiative to take over his mother's responsibilities. But Yesong frowned. I'm afraid it will be difficult to stop the enemy with just simple traps. Enemy. The old village chief blinked. In the past, bandits, robbers, or wild beasts occasionally attacked the village. Every time, it was Yesong's mother who solved the problem secretly. Yes, this child is only 8 years old. For him, bandits and robbers are very difficult to deal with. However, Yesong is not referring to those cats and dogs. But it is a more difficult existence. Enemy ninja. To be precise, he is a ninja from Sunagakure village. This is a small village on the border of the Land of Fire, and further west is the uninhabited northern part of the Kingdom of Kawa. The country of Kawa borders Konoha to the east and Sunagakure to the west. If the Second Ninja World War breaks out, the ninjas of Sunagakure village will definitely pass through the northern part of Kawa no Kuni and then drive straight in, making this place one of the first places to attack. There are many villages located on the border. At that time, Sunagakure village is likely to launch raids from multiple locations. At that time, we didn't know how many villages would be destroyed and how many families would be destroyed. We must not let that happen. Yesong clenched the bow and arrow in his hand. However, with his own strength, it was impossible to stop the tide of Sand Ninja. After thinking for a moment, Yesong made a major decision. Village head. What's up? I'm going to leave the village and head to Konoha in a few days. What? Facing the astonished gaze of the old village chief, Yesong's eyes seemed to have traveled through time and space to that familiar yet unfamiliar land. Only by going to Konoha and telling the Sandaime Hokage everything he knows can he prevent all tragedies from happening. This is your own justice. I'm afraid, not even Hinata Hikari and Namikaze Minato would think of it. Their middle school righteous companion, Yesong, a boy from his classmate, is ready to go on the spoiler road and never return. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 128. Wow. I don't want it. I want to take the Chunin exam. His face was full of tears and he was shouting, and he was wearing a shiny forehead protector on his head. He's a genin. Of course, the most eye-catching thing is the person chasing behind this naughty boy. Come back. You stinky brother. It's Tsunade. Tsunade shouted, waving her fists and showing her teeth and claws. No. I want to take the Chunin exam. Then, the identity of the naughty kid rolling on the floor with a hoarse voice is obvious. Rope Tree. The grandson of the first Hokage Senju Hashirama, the younger brother of Tsunade, and the orthodox successor of the Senju clan. He is 10 years old this year, 2 years older than Minato Namikaze and Hikari Hinata. Ninja number. This ninja number represents the identity of a ninja. Since the founding of Konoha, the village has been officially recorded starting with the first number 1. Senju Hashirama Ninja number 1. Sarutobi Hiruzen Ninja number 261. Mito Gate Flame Ninja number 293. Jiraiya Ninja number 1. From this series of numbers, we can see the total number of Konoha ninjas. Thousand Hand Rope Tree, graduated about half a year ago. In the past 6 months, various students have graduated. Today, Konoha's ninja number has reached 6xxx. This is the current total number of ninjas in Konoha Hidden Village, about 6 ninjas. Of course, this is just an official statement. If you subtract those who have retired, those who died of old age, those who died in battle, and those who died of illness, the total number of Konoha ninjas is actually much smaller. Oh, you've only graduated half a year ago and you want to take the Chunin exam? There's no way. Tsunade rolled up her sleeves and was about to catch up with the Rope Tree and beat him violently with her strange strength. That Tsunade-sama? Nawaka-senpai. Okay. What? Tsunade and Naoki both stopped. It's your boy. It's Watergate. It wasn't Tsunade who said you kid but Naoki. What are you kid? Address others properly. Tsunade's loving iron fist arrived immediately and struck her own brother on the head. Ouch, Naoshu cried out in pain and fell to the ground. It was indeed her biological sister. Minato, why are you here? Tsunade glanced at Hinata Hikari and Namikaze Minato. Are you on a date? Minato Namikaze spat out, then coughed violently. Who is this little cataract? Naoshu stretched out his finger and pointed at Hinata, and then he waved his hand. Forget it, whoever I love, anyway, I want to take the Chunin exam. The Rope Tree just lay on the ground, drawing circles on the ground as if there was no one around. Get up, Tsunade shouted. No, sister, my head is full of muscles. I have to take the Chunin exams to get up. Shenshu was lying on the ground, looking like I just can't get up. You guy. Tsunade's fists clenched loudly, and she saw that she was about to hit Naoki again. Haha, Tsunade-sama, please calm down. Namikaze Minato tried to smooth things over one after another. When Tsunade said, I will take care of the stinky brother on my own, let's go. Namikaze Minato and Hinata Hikaru took steps forward. Wait. The naughty voice of Shenshu sounded again from behind. Minato Namikaze, have you learned any new ninjutsu these days? Life is so boring, give me a show. If not, shoot a big fireball and show me. Tsunade was silent for a moment. Whether it was the talented Namikaze Minato or the cute little girl from the Hyuga family who beat up the second-tailed Jinchuriki, they all made Tsunade envious. Look, other people's children, other people's disciples. Look at my stinky brother again. He is always causing trouble to the people around him, and he is very annoying. Originally, Tsunade thought that if the Rope Tree was bigger, she would become a good, obedient, and sensible child. But who knows, it has been half a year since graduation, and the results have not changed at all. This problem of being stinky and disobedient has never been cured. And the beautiful vision also collapsed due to reality. What he said just now sounded like an idiot. As a result, Tsunade immediately became furious. Asshole! You stinky brother! Are ninjutsu just for show? Tsunade mercilessly put her foot on Naoki's ass. This kick was no less than the earth-shattering. So the rope tree immediately started crying. Ah! I killed someone, my butt hurts so much. Quack. Seeing this tragic scene, Hinata Hikari couldn't help but laugh out loud with schadenfreude. Laugh. Why are you laughing? What's so funny? The next moment, Naoshu, who was pretending to cry, turned around and glared at Hinata Hikari fiercely. Although he is vicious, he still looks silly and cute no matter how he looks at it. Kinjuninshu is such a stinky and silly naughty kid. Quack, this leader is so stupid to laugh at you. You dare to scold me? Do you know who I am? Senjunashu's eyes widened, with an expression like the silly son of a landlord. When he grows up, no one dares to scold him except his sister. Gaga, you are a boy with missing front teeth. Hinata Hikaru stretched out his hand and Senjunasuke was stunned for a moment, then covered his mouth as if reflexively. He does have a missing tooth in the upper jaw. But then he thought again, it wasn't quite right. The little cataract was mocking him. Humph. Senjunasuke got up from the ground very angrily, and started to declare arrogantly without even taking pictures of his clothes. Tell me my true identity and I'll scare you to death. Senjunaoki glanced at Hinata Hikaru very proudly. The way he behaves is like a second-generation person. My grandfather is Senju Hashirama, known as the god of ninja. When Senju Nezuki said this name, he was so excited. Whenever he said this, the other person would express various reactions such as shock, fear, excitement, etc. But Hinata's reaction disappointed him. Oh. Hinata just responded softly. Namikaze Minato couldn't help it and almost laughed. He silently took a few steps back, because he knew that next was the time for Hinata Hikaru classmate to tease Naoki. Do you know who this leader is? Who are you? Kinjunaishu stared and asked angrily. This leader is the majestic leader of Tongtien. He came to this world to save the common people. Thousand-hand rope tree. Tsunade. Rose tree, let's go back first, don't be embarrassed here. Tsunade felt that this bratty brother's fight with Hinata Hikari in the ring only showed Naoki's mental retardation. Can't he see it? Oh. Lord Tongtien. Senjunaishu opened his eyes wide, obviously not wanting to leave. Quack, of course Hinata Hikaru held her head high and responded proudly. Have not heard. Sunlight. Humph. I don't care if you are the leader of Tongtien or something else. If you offended me today, you have to apologize to me, otherwise. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 129. Senjunashu showed a vicious expression. Look stupid. Otherwise, what? Hinata turned his head away, not even looking at the Senju rope tree. This move made the Senjunashu successfully explode. Otherwise I'll fix you up. Humph. Kinjunaishu hummed, his big round face gloomy. But his demeanor and appearance are really not suitable for the villain job. And even though he is 2 years older than Hinata Hikari, he looks very childish in his tit-for-tat attitude. The corners of Tsunade's mouth twitched. He was about to teach his stinky brother a lesson. But as she rolled her eyes, she suddenly thought of something. It would be a good thing if we could use the hands of Hinata Hikari to beat the rope tree and make him stop his old bad habit. Thinking of this, Tsunade gave Naoki a blast. What are you talking about? Have you forgotten how to resolve disputes between ninjas? It hurts. The rope tree holds its head and squats to defend. He thought for a while, stood up again, hummed, and then made a one-hand seal towards Hinata Hikaru. Seal of opposites. When ninjas are training against ninjas, or when there is a dispute. Sometimes you need to use force to prove your point of view or determination. At this time, it is necessary to form the seal of opposition. After the battle between the two sides is completed, they must seal the seal of reconciliation to symbolize that they are companions. This is a convention and a way to solve problems without hurting the relationship between the two parties. Gaga, this leader accepts your challenge. Hinata Hikari waved her sleeves and decided immediately. Half an hour later, the fourth training ground. Surrounded by Konoha hidden village, there are various training grounds on the surface or underground. The most famous one is the third training ground, where countless bell fighting scenes take place. The dual location chosen by Hinata Hikaru is the fourth training ground. The fourth training ground is fenced off from the first and no ordinary people are allowed to enter. There are also danger signs on the barbed wire fence. It can be seen from here that the fourth training ground is not an ordinary training ground. It's a place full of dangers that would make even ninjas crumble. Humph, I didn't expect that you would actually pick a place. Kinjunashu looked at this place casually, completely unaware of the horror of this training ground. And Tsunade was already wondering if it would be a little too much. Ga, because you are the grandson of Senju Hashirama, naturally, this leader cannot use ordinary methods to deal with you, because wouldn't this make you look very ungraceful? Hinata laughed strangely and said loudly. Ha ha, I didn't expect you to be quite discerning. Yes, using ordinary methods to deal with me is insulting me. Thousand Hand Rope Tree pinched his waist, very proud. This silly boy. Tsunade immediately raised her forehead. Her bratty brother didn't even know he was betrayed by Hinata Hikaru, and he foolishly thought he was flattering him. He raised his head and looked around the terrain. This is a place where even Tsunade has a headache. The reason why the fourth training ground is surrounded by high walls is naturally because of its danger. In the seemingly peaceful underground of the fourth training ground, a large number of small detonating symbols are buried. Most of these detonating talismans are random creations of some ninjas, or they are detonating talismans from certain eras. After being stored for a long time, the power decreases. Unable to kill the enemy, it would be a pity to throw it away. So, they were taken and buried in the ground, forming the unique mine array of the fourth training ground. After so many years, no one knows how many traps and explosives are buried underground. All in all, this is a very dangerous training ground. Although it is not fatal, it extremely trains a ninja's reaction speed. The moment you notice something is wrong, you need to avoid it immediately. Otherwise, they will be blown up by explosives. By then, the car may have overturned and be blackened, or the worst may be covered in bruises, requiring a hospital stay for recuperation. Then, the little girl of the Hinata family chose this place for the purpose of. Tsunade's thoughts turned and she looked at Hinata Hikari. Then, he caught a glimpse of her white eyes. It turned out, the Hyuga clan has Byakugan, which can clearly see explosives buried underground. In other words, this is an unequal match. However, this is not in line with this little girl's style. Generally speaking, she rises to the challenge head-on, rather than choosing this easy mode game. Tsunade's doubts made no sense. Hyuga Hikari really has the right time, place, and people. But Hinata Hikari has her own considerations. Before she could speak, Namikaze Minato next to her noticed what she meant. As expected of Hinata Hikari-san, Namikaze Minato's eyes were filled with smiles. That was the gratification and praise for Hinata Hikari's kind actions. Thousand Hand Rope Tree. The direct descendant of Senju Hashirama, and the only hope among the men of the Senju clan. But unfortunately, shortly after the outbreak of the Second Ninja World War, Senju Nezuki accidentally fell into a detonating charm trap when he rushed to the battlefield, and ended up with the sad end of dying before he could escape. Descendants of the mighty ninja god Senju Hashirama. In the end, he was killed by the detonating talisman. It can be said that it is quite ironic. Namikaze Minato's eyes were burning. Then, Hinata Hikari-san must have taken this opportunity to make some changes in the fate of Senju Nawaki. But can the fate of death really be reversed? Namikaze Minato didn't know. But it's always worth trying. Maybe others will choose to ignore the matter and ignore it. But Daylight is different. Her kindness has always been noticed by Minato Namikaze. Gaga, thousand armed rope tree, before I compete with you, I must first place a bet as a reward. Bet? Reward, Kinjunaisha blinked. If this leader wins, I will take one of your treasured water escape scrolls. Hikaru Hinata offered what she wanted. As we all know, Senju Noki is the grandson of Senju Hashirama, the first Hokage, and his second grandfather is Senju Tobirama. In other words, it is impossible to leave no legacy behind. Then some ninjutsu that no outsider can obtain is worth betting on. Senju Hashirama is good at wood escape. The distance between wood escape and water escape is earth escape. The chakra attribute of Senju rope tree happens to be water release and earth release. In other words, from him, you can get the inheritance of the second Hokage Senju Tobirama. Although Hinata Hikaru is not Senju Tobirama's fangirl. But at least I feel. Although this guy Senju Tobirama is very evil and evil, at least he can use the ninjutsu he invented easily. What kind of E-class Millennium Killer is it? What D-level friendship is ruined, Konoha whirlwind? The results are astonishing. At least it will cause the opponent to lose face, and at worst, it will cause the opponent to die socially on the spot and never be able to live a human life again. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 130. Simply speaking. Thousands of hands Tobirama, you are good or bad. Leader Hikari Hinata highly praised Senju Tobirama's evil doing. That fierceness, tut tut. Small idea. Thousand Hand Rope Tree waved his hand and agreed directly without thinking about it immediately. Tsunade was speechless. But she didn't bother to remind her bratty brother. This bratty brother lacks the beatings required by Shenhui. It would be great if someone could discipline her. It's better to be disciplined by this little girl from the Hinata family than to be taught how to be a good person by the enemy's ninjas. The best Hinata Hikari can do is make her bratty brother suffer a little. If he were an enemy, it would be fatal. So, Tsunade smiled and stood aside with interest, watching how her bratty brother was dealt with by Hinata Hikaru. This is really a real sister. If you lose. Naoki looked at Hinata Hikari fiercely. If you lose, you must teach me the soft fist of your Hyuga clan. Puff. Tsunade almost hit someone in anger. Is her bratty brother stupid, using Rofist as a bargaining chip? He thought that he could learn Rofist without Byakugan. How stupid was that? Tsunade decided that she would have to deal with him later. Quack, good. Hinata agreed immediately. It doesn't matter what kind of chips there are, Senju Nezuki can't beat her anyway. Did you see it? Hinata stretched out her little hand and pointed forward. At the end of the fourth theater, there stands a lush tree. I will compete with you, whoever gets there first will win. So simple. Senju Naoki couldn't believe it. He didn't expect that this little cataract would propose such a simple competition. In this case, wouldn't he be sure of victory? Senju Naoki didn't notice that Namikaze Minato was already looking at him with great pity. Senior Naoki-san, the long-term pain is not as good as the short-term pain, so please bear with it a little bit. Namikaze Minato prayed for the Senju Nezuki in his heart. Are you ready? After a few minutes, the Senju rope tree warmed up. In fact, it's just a very boring preparation. Tsunade almost annoyed him to death. She has a short temper and has been eager to see her bratty brother get beaten up by someone involved in the meeting, Hikaru Hinata. Well, let's just settle it. Senju hummed and stood in front of the starting line. Then, he glanced at Hinata Hikaru very sluttishly. Little cataract, you can never defeat me. Just wait and offer your soft fist obediently. Thousand-hand rope tree, stupidly said harsh words. Hinata just wanted to laugh. Gaga, I'll wait and see how the leader behaves with you. Hinata Hikaru turned around and stopped talking. Senju is also ready to move. Prepare. As Tsunade raised her arm, and then suddenly lowered it, her speech announced the beginning of the competition. Start. The moment he finished speaking, Kinjurusha rushed out in one stride. Full score. It's strange that Tsunade was ecstatic. It's a complete idiot. Humph, that little cataract didn't even react. Senju Naoki looked at Hinata Hikaru falling behind him and couldn't help but smile. To be honest, Senju Naoki's character is very similar to Uchiha Sasuke before the genocide. A bit of a stinker, but very kind. At the same time, there is a lack of beatings involving meetings. But Senju Naoki and Uchiha Sasuke are different after all. The Senju clan does not need to become dark to gain power. They are a loving people. Oh haha, if you dare to challenge me to a duel like this, I will definitely win. Boom. There was a terrible explosion. Ah. Thousand-hand rope tree, I just feel like the world is spinning in front of me. Then, it was blown up to the sky. Snapped. Tsunade held her forehead, not wanting to look at the embarrassing appearance of her bratty brother. This stinky brother is so stupid. Only. Tsunade was a little confused again. How did this little girl from the Hyuga family know the specific information about the fourth training ground? Then, she glanced at the good boy Minato Namikaze beside him, who sighed and mourned for Senju Naoki. Yes. Tsunade's eyes lit up. It must be Namikaze Minato's fault. That's right. This guy is kind on the surface, but secretly he does things all day long. He usually picks up a book when he has nothing to do, and he behaves like a normal person. However, the more he reads, the more bad ideas he comes up with. He must have taught Hinata Hikaru bad things. Unbeknownst to Namikaze Minato, there was suddenly an extra pot on his body. And all of this stems from Tsunade's anxiety about her stinky brother and her jealousy of other people's disciples and other people's children. She was really worried about the rope tree. At this time, the rope tree's long-drawn whine could be heard in the air. Then, boom! The rope tree hit the ground and fell into the street. Quack. Hinata laughed strangely and cupped his hands. I didn't expect you, Senju Nezuki, to be proficient in the butt back flats and falling goose pose. I admire it, I admire it. Hinata Hikari's ridicule was heard by the Senju Nezuki. He climbed up from the ground with difficulty and looked at Hinata Hikari in disbelief. It's you. Little cataract. You're cheating. The thousand-handed rope tree has firm eyes and stretches out its fingers to point towards the sun. At the same time, I was a little angry and a little aggrieved. In an honest competition, this little cataract actually cheated. Deliberately laying traps on his path. Hiss. Thinking of this, Senju Naoki gasped and his eyes widened to the extreme. Is it? This guy has been plotting against him for a long time. It was determined that he was the grandson of Senju Hashirama, so he wanted to murder him. The imagination is rich. Tsunade rolled her eyes, and then roared towards the rope tree. What an idiot. This is the fourth training ground. There are a lot of explosives buried underground in the fourth training ground. You need some common sense if you want to be clever. Eh? Really? Kinjunaishu looked confused. Forget it, I don't care. Tsunade suddenly felt tired, so she walked aside to bask in the sun. Humph. It's just explosives. Even the enemy can't stop my 1,000-armed rope tree. The silly Senju Nezuki announced loudly. Then, he embarked on a road that was blown away. Boom. Ah. As soon as Senju Nashu stepped forward with his front foot, his back foot was blown away. He took off gloriously again, but this time, even his body was blackened. My fair and tender skin. 1,000-hand rope tree lay on the ground, sobbing, sobbing. The little shoulders trembled. Namikaze Minato. Tsunade. Come again. I don't believe in evil anymore. The 1,000-hand rope tree, which was completely black and still smoking, stood up again and rushed forward with a strange cry. Boom. It hurts. Boom. Don't play like this. Boom. In the end, the 1,000-hands rope tree became completely silent. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 131. Quack, before I even exerted any force, you blew yourself up first. X. Hinata Hikaru laughed so hard. She felt it was indescribably amusing to see the 1,000-handed rope tree being blown up into African charcoal. What the hell is going on? The mournful cry of the 1,000-handed rope tree echoed in the air at this moment. God, 1,000-armed rope tree, your setting is % sure that it will be blown away by the detonating talisman. Hinata Hikaru stretched out his finger and made a gesture that revealed only one truth. Humph, don't be proud. The 1,000-handed rope tree lying on the ground angrily pulled it with his hand. If you have the ability, go ahead and try. Just try it. Hinata Hikari opened his stance and ran forward under the gaze of Senju Nashu. Subsequently, Senju Nezuki's eyes changed from indignation to disdain, then to surprise, and finally to disbelief. How is this possible? With his mouth wide enough to fit an egg in, he saw that Hikaru Hinata was walking swiftly without causing an explosion along the way. What the principle is, Shenshu can no longer figure it out. However, with his IQ, he can still deduce some things. Okay, I get it. Senju Nashu slapped the ground, and at the same time, Hinata Hikaru also stopped halfway and turned around to look at him. It seems to be asking, what do you know about this scumbag rope tree? Humph, all the explosives were cleared on your road ahead of time. The 1,000-hand rope tree climbed up and pointed to the road Hinata passed by in a serious manner. Because only in this way can we explain why Hinata didn't even step on the explosives. Idiot brother. Tsunade rolled his eyes. The reason why Hinata didn't hit the explosives was because he had already scanned the terrain with his Byakugan before when the rope tree kept blowing up. Wherever there are detonating symbols, I remember them all in my mind. But this memory is indeed too powerful. You're right, everything you said is right. A mocking expression that looked like a smile but not a smile appeared on Hinata Hikaru's cute little face. Senju Nashu looked unhappy. He snorted loudly, ejected from the ground, and headed straight for the path Hinata had walked before. Not surprisingly. 1,000-hand rope tree felt a slip under its feet. Boom. The roar of the detonating talisman sounded, and the 1,000-handed rope tree rose into the sky again. What a disgusting feeling. Boom. 1,000-hand rope tree fell to the ground. Not moving anymore. After a long time, a gust of wind blew. The blow shook the swaying little shoulders of the 1,000-hand rope tree. Whoa, whoa, why on earth is this? Senju Nezuki began to sob. He didn't understand. Why did it happen like this? For the first time, the two pleasant things of becoming a senior of two brats and showing off in front of the brats for the first time were intertwined. And these two joys gave people I brought a lot of joy. I should have had this kind of dream-like happy time. But why did it become like this? Of course because Namikaze Minato on the side. Senior Naoki's setting is to be blown up by the detonating talisman % of the time. In the end, the winner was undoubtedly Hinata Hikari. Yeah. Hinata raised her hands. And Roshu, after experiencing a tragic failure, began to think about life. If my setting is % to be blown up by the detonating talisman, wouldn't it mean that I will be blown up by the detonating talisman as soon as I enter the battlefield and before I meet the enemy? Congratulations, Senior Shenshu, you have finally realized the true meaning of your life's destiny. Namikaze Minato looked at this silly senior with a look of surprise and relief. Actually, this is not without a solution. Namikaze Minato stepped forward and comforted Nawaki. In other words, at this time, you should hit the snake and follow it with the stick. This is an excellent opportunity to save the soldier's rope tree. Well, what can I do? The thousand-handed rope tree squeaked and burst into tears. Gaga, it's very simple, you just need to learn the physical clone technique. Hinata said proudly. She had already thought of the instructions on how to avoid death with the Senju rope tree. Entity clone. Senju Naoki, who was wiping his tears, stopped crying, and looked at Hinata Hikari with his eyes wide open. For example, sea-level water escape from water clone, sea-level earth escape from earth clone, B-level shadow clone technique. Rice Yangguang raised his white and slender fingers and spoke softly. Since the setting of the thousand-armed rope tree is % blown up by the detonating talisman, then just use ninjutsu to create a physical clone to explore the way before each action. The Senju clan are distant relatives of the Uzumaki clan. Senju Hashirama's extremely large chakra is a bug, let's not talk about it for now. Although the ordinary Senju clan members do not have as much chakra as the Uzumaki clan. But at least he has to kill a bunch of passerby ninjas instantly. With the qualifications of the thousand-armed rope tree, it is not a big problem to use the clone like drinking water. Yeah, that's great, little cataract, I didn't expect you to be a good person, he 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 he. The silly smile of the thousand-handed rope tree blooms in the sunset, mixed with a handful of snot and tears on his face. What? So stupid. The corners of Tsunade's mouth began to twitch again. Half an hour later, Tsunade's house. I have decided to learn how to clone all entities in the world from now on. After taking a shower, with his hair still wet, Senju Naoki eagerly came out and started bragging with his two juniors. After being severely beaten by Hinata Hikari, Senju Noja's training goals changed. Put all the taijutsu, ninjutsu, and illusions aside for now. The most important thing is to learn physical avatar. My sister is no longer afraid that I will be blown up by the detonating talisman. See what you can. Tsunade hit the rope tree with a blast. Wipe your hair clean first. Ouch, it hurts. Senju Nasha cried out in pain, but wiped his head obediently. Tsunade, on the other hand, was wearing an apron and making dinner. Hikaru Hinata, Minato Namikaze, please stay for dinner. Tsunade pinched her waist and smiled. Although I don't know what it means to be % killed by the detonating talisman. But overall, this beating was a good thing. Quack, okay. Without a second of hesitation, Hinata agreed. Of course, you have to pay as much as you want. While Tsunade was cooking, Senju Naoki brought Hinata Hikaru and Namikaze Minato into his library as promised. In a basement. In the basement, there are various scrolls densely packed. Are these scrolls the legacy of the first and second generation Hokage? Namikaze Minato excitedly picked up a scroll and opened it. Then, the smile froze on his face. I saw it written above. My second and third stories with Madara are written by Senju Hashirama. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 132. Namikaze Minato was stunned for a moment. Jishin. Issue 8. Then he quietly put the scroll down. Then he picked up another one faster. Battlefield Rose Uchiha Madara Senju Hashirama. Namikaze Minato. A somewhat dull Namikaze Minato patted his cheek and picked up the third scroll again. Ah, Madara, where are you, Senju Hashirama? Namikaze Minato. What? Quack, interesting. On the other side, Hinata Hikari held a scroll and read it with gusto. Namikaze Minato looked at the title. Ho, good guy. I can't urinate when someone is behind my back, and I have mushrooms growing on my head. Namikaze Minato looked very dull. He felt that he had been severely mentally polluted. Call. Namikaze Minato rubbed his chest and took a deep breath. The way you opened Namikaze Minato must be wrong. After a few minutes, Namikaze Minato squatted in the corner, looking autistic. The legendary god of ninja, the first Hokage Senju Hashirama, is actually a funny guy. At this moment, the majestic image of Senju Hashirama collapsed in his heart. God, it turns out that Uchiha Madara can't pee when someone else is behind him. Yes. Hinata Hikaru was discussing with Senju Nezuki the various dark histories of Uchiha Madara with great interest. At this moment, the stupid Senju Nashu was possessed by Senju Hashirama, and he was very happy to introduce various interesting things about Uchiha Madara to Hinata Hikari. My grandpa still has mushrooms growing on his head. Kinju Naishu was very excited, and he didn't know what he was excited about. The fact that Senju Hashirama has mushrooms growing on his head when he is autistic is obviously not something worth boasting about. Can the mushroom on his head be eaten? Hinata blinked and asked curiously. Certainly. The expression on Senju Naoki's face suddenly became serious. During the war years, there were several times when my grandfather survived the crisis by eating the mushrooms growing on his head. I eat myself. I am the archdruid Senju Hashirama, mushrooms are delicious, and all kinds of clues were displayed in front of Hinata Hikari. And if you can't eat the mushrooms, you can still sell them for money. With money, Grandpa can go gambling. Senju Nezuki proudly announced the dark history of Senju Hashirama. Senju Hashirama loves gambling. Later, Grandpa understood the wood escape. He just carried the wood and sold it for money. That's right. The head of the thousand-handed rope tree with bright eyes nodded like a kowtowing insect. So it turns out that the reason why Shodame-sama realized wood release was because it was convenient to sell gambling. The corners of Namikaze Minato's mouth twitched. The thousand-armed rope tree opened its arms and seemed to be embracing the whole world. Grandpa said that the forests around Konoha were all created by him using wood. From now on, there will be no shortage of money for gambling. Only then did Namikaze Minato realize that fairy tales were all lies. Senju Hashirama planted trees for no particular reason, just to have more wood to sell for money. Well, okay, this is very Senju Hashirama. But I always feel like I have no future. By the way, Senju Nashu, where is the bet that this leader won? Fortunately, Hinata Hikaru still remembered this incident. Oh, let me look for it. The thousand-handed rope tree began to flip. Finally, he rummaged through a pile of scrolls and found a scroll. Only one. Where did the other scrolls go? I asked my sister to exchange the rest for money. At this moment, Kinjunaishu's smile was extremely bright. Namikaze Minato then remembered something. Tsunade's gambling habit is even worse than Senju Hashirama's. Moreover, Tsunade's luck is even worse. She is also known as the legendary sheep. What a prodigal! He actually took the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama's scroll in exchange for money. My sister said that Uncle Danzo is a fan of Grandpa II, and he especially likes to collect Grandpa Second's things, so my sister sold all of Grandpa Second's ninjutsu scrolls to him at a high price. Senjunasha kept smiling and continued. There are also other items belonging to Second Grandpa, such as armor, clothes, and even used chopsticks and bowls, which were sold to Uncle Danzo. Humph. Hinata Hikari snorted hard, feeling extremely disgusted. I never imagined that you are such a Shimura Danzo. In fact, the person Danzo Shimura admires the most is his teacher Senju Tobirama. Even his thoughts were perfectly inherited from Senju Tobirama. Such as prejudice towards the Uchiha clan. So, as a fanatical disciple of Senju Tobirama, it is understandable that Shimura Danzo embarked on this star-chasing path. This is why. The reason why Danzo Shimura did countless bad things, but never took action against Tsunade and Nawaka. All this is because of the affection of the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama. Cough cough. Namikaze Minato coughed hard, interrupting Senju Nawaka's frantic desire to tell the dark history of these big figures. Well, Naoki-senpai said, this is the only one of the many ninjutsu scrolls left. Senju Naoshi nodded vigorously. When my sister wanted to sell this scroll, I cried and made a fuss, and even rotated 720 degrees on the floor to save the scroll. The thousand-handed rope tree held the scroll, its eyes shining bulg. This is the only relic of the second grandfather. Gaga, bring it. Hinata Hikari snatched the last relic. Although there is only one left, there is no choice. But you can always make do with it. But Hinata Hikari still wanted to say something. Tsunade, this prodigal bitch. And Namikaze Minato felt that the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama would definitely cry after knowing that Tsunade was so filial. That's right, he would definitely cry. After hurriedly opening the scroll, Hinata's eyes lit up. The first thing that catches the eye is the word water escape. This shows that at least this scroll is a ninjutsu scroll, and it is not a boring dispute between who and who. Even Namikaze Minato came over curiously. Water escape hard vortex water blade. Hinata Hikaru pronounced this very awkward name. The difficulty of acquiring the hard vortex water blade is level A. The caster must first master the changes in the nature of the water attribute chakra, and then only after mastering the changes in the water attribute form can he practice this ninjutsu. You can create a water vortex in your hand, compress the water flow, and turn it into a water javelin that can be used for close combat or thrown for long-range attacks. Once it touches the target, it can form a huge water spout with powerful attack power and good visual effects. The power, range, form, and degree of compression will change according to the amount and strength of the caster's chakra. What a good ninjutsu. Hinata Hikari put away this ninjutsu very preciously. However, Senju Nesuke curled his lips. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version. Hinata JoJo's Bizarre Konoha Adventure. Author, Chaos Theory. Chapter 133. I think this ninjutsu is terrible and not as powerful and beautiful as the B-level water release water dragon bullet. In Senju Naoki's opinion, this ninjutsu is not cool at all. Huangjintung.org.saluk. Even with such complicated training steps, it may not be more lethal than B-level water escape. It's like a B-level water escape and water dragon bullet technique. There is no need to learn form changes at all. As long as you can use water escape and have enough chakra, you can release it. The only drawback is that it prints too much. But handsome. Thousand-hand rope tree's eyes are shining. Gaga, what do you know? Hinata Hikaru waved his hand with great disdain. Drills are the romance of mankind. Condensing water into a drill bit, and then drilling through everything, this is the romance of mankind. Quack, my leader's drill can break through the sky. Hinata raised his arm, his slender index finger raised toward the top of his head. Thousand-hand rope tree. Namikaze Minato. Senju Naoki said that he had no idea what Hinata's drill had to do with romance. Anyway, as long as you're happy. Thousand-hand rope tree paid off the bet generously. There is no intention of defaulting on the debt at all. It's time for dinner. At this time, Tsunade's voice came from above. The three of them looked at each other and then followed the ladder back to the surface. Dinner was held in a pleasant atmosphere. However, not everyone is as happy as the three of them. The mansion of the Hyuga clan, the courtyard of Hyuga Ryujin. Xiangxiao, you seem to have something on your mind. After finishing the meal, Hyuga Ryujutsu called his disciple over as he always did, ready to supervise his practice. Opposite him, Xiangxiao sat. At this time, the sky was a little dark and the sun had not completely set. Master. Xiangxiao sat there, looking at the expression on her face. It was obvious that she was worried. In the past few days, he hadn't even met Hinata Hikari. Just sitting alone in the yard, practicing Rukwon. I don't know. Xiangxiao shook his head and spoke in a low tone. Why did the Hyuga clan separate into clans and branch families? The Union Village incident gave Xiangxiao a great stimulus. Especially the other party's cynicism about his clan status left Xiangxiao speechless. He was born into the clan. And Hinata Hikari was born into a separate family. This difference makes him look ridiculous in many things. And he couldn't speak for himself. As soon as he opened his mouth, the other party laughed at him for why the people didn't eat minced meat. Hinata Xiao couldn't help but wonder why the Hinata clan wanted to establish clans and separate families. Of course it's to prevent the white eyes from leaking out, Hinata Yoshida said in a calm tone without any disturbance. Just like answering the questions of other tribesmen countless times, Hinata Yoshitatsu said the reason he repeated countless times. Xiangxiao shook her head. If the enemy knows that the Byakugan of the branch family cannot be obtained, then the target will naturally turn to the zone family. For the zone family, wouldn't the risk factor increase instead? His question is reasonable. Hinata Yoshitatsu nodded, so, we need to separate the Byakugan to protect the clan. But it's not fair. Hinata Xiao's tone rose slightly. Hikaru Hinata's talent is obviously beyond that of most people, even above me. Therefore, Hikaru Hinata should learn the true skills of the Hyuga clan. A unique skill passed down among the clans. Whether a group is strong or not is closely related to how many masters it has. If a shadow-level powerhouse appears, he can at least have a certain say in many forces. The distinction between the main family and the branch family is tantamount to obliterating the talent of the branch family. No matter how talented the branch family members are, they will never be able to acquire the special skills of the clan family in their lifetime. Sun Xiangxiao. Hinata Yoshitatsu stared at his disciple. Life is inherently unfair, or the gap between people is obvious. I understand, Master. Just like the difference between men and women, the difference in blood inheritance limits, and the difference in talent. However, there are some things that I don't think are necessary and can be changed through human power. From Xiangxiao's point of view, there is no need for the clan to decide the fate of the clan members when they are born, and then cast the seal of the caged bird on them. This is a result of human intervention, not any other inherent advantage or flaw. Hyugako, our Hyuga clan has appeared in the ninja world a long time ago. It has been more than 1,000 years ago. During this period, countless clans perished due to various reasons, but our Hyuga clan has survived peacefully until now. Hinata Yoshitatsu was not angry or anxious, but spoke happily. This has a lot to do with the caged bird seal. This kind of restriction can effectively prevent internal strife among the clan. Sometimes, the result of being too free is to disappear from the ninja world. So, we have to give up personal interests for the sake of the collective, Ri Xiangxiao asked rhetorically. That's right, Hinata nodded. So the branch family members have always been making sacrifices, while the clan family members are enjoying everything with peace of mind. Ri Xiangxiao's mood started to get a little excited. Even Hyaga Hisashi became a victim of power. Sun Xiangxiao. Hinata Ryutatsu scolding interrupted Hinata Xiao's speech. Ugh. Hinata Yoshiaki sighed softly. As a disciple, he is good at everything, but he is too easy to go to extremes. He doesn't know how to behave tactfully, he doesn't show mercy, and he knows one thing for sure, and he won't look back even if he gets a bloody head. Ri Xiangxiao, you should understand this truth. I understand, master. Ri Xiangxiao lowered his head, then raised his head again. But I don't agree. He shook his head. Nothing can last forever. Everything that is created in history will inevitably perish in history. Even if the Hyaga clan lasts for 1,000 years, they will one day disappear like other clans. They will continue to sacrifice their clansmen in order to survive until the end. I don't approve of the arrival of such a Hyaga clan. Hinata Xiao's rebellious speech did not make Hinata Yoshiharu angry. He just stared at his disciple staring closely at him. It wasn't until the atmosphere became unbearable that Hinata Yoshitatsu slowly spoke. Ri Xiangxiao, you are still young. When you grow up, you will understand some things. Then you will laugh at yourself, laugh at your childish self in the past, and be ashamed of what you have said. Ri Xiangxiao said nothing, quietly listening to the master's teachings. Of course, maybe not. Hinata Yoshitatsu shook his head again. Time will tell everything. Then take a look and think about whether today's thinking will still continue in that future. At that time, you can decide your own actions. Hinata changed the subject. Whether you compromise or persist, strength is always the most important way to achieve everything, achieve your dreams, and even survive in the world. After a long time, Hinata Xiao nodded. I understand, master, let time prove everything. Mobile phone users, please visit CSW. Reading for a better reading experience. The bookshelf is synchronized with the computer version.